Today I will be discussing the importance of the due diligence period in North Carolina during the process of purchasing a home. But before we begin, I am Jessica Rodriguez, and together with my sister, the Rodriguez sisters, we like to create content that will help you be inspired, motivate you, and sometimes we even discuss real estate. So in North Carolina, we do have a due diligence period and a due diligence deposit. When you're putting an offer on a house, that would go as part of your offer. You offer, depending on the price of the home, you would give directly to the sellers a check from to basically, it's of good faith, thanking them for taking the house off the market while you, the purchaser, are doing your due diligence. During the due diligence period, usually average, depending on how the market is right now, I'd say 15 to 20 days due diligence period. Is when you're doing all of your investigations. You're getting your appraisal, the bank gets your appraisal to make sure that the house is worth that amount. You get your inspections. There are different types of inspections, termite, mold, all the things, but definitely always recommend a general inspection. Inspector will come to the house and take a look at every little item, every single detail of the house. I can tell you, especially if the house is an older house, the inspection report will come back and sometimes it can be scary. It's a bunch of pages telling you that things are different, wrong, but for the most part, I mean, it'll even have things like the light bulb needs to be changed, small things. But we definitely always recommend an inspection. It is very, very important. That way you'll know if like big, larger items like the roof that costs a lot of money to change, to get a new roof, or the HVAC system, although sometimes you do have to get a specific person to check your HVAC to make sure that it is working properly. Those two items are cost a lot of money to fix, so you want to know whether these things are working or not prior to going through your purchase. So you're doing all of these things, appraisal and inspections, within your due diligence period. Like I said, depending on what you negotiate, 15 to 20 days. And if you get further inspections, like I said, you can get someone to come and check specifically the HVAC or a termite inspection. Once we get all of those items back and reports and we double check that everything's okay, possibly even get a general contractor to go out there after the inspection has been done to check a few items here and there, maybe to get an estimate if there are larger items on the list. We will then try to negotiate those items and ask the seller if they could possibly fix some of those items or if we could get possibly some closing costs at the end. But they are not required to do any of these things. In North Carolina, houses are sold as is, but it's definitely good to know if you're purchasing a house because you may not want to buy the house after looking at the inspection report or finding out the HVAC system doesn't have a lot of time before it breaks down, things like that. But the due diligence period is a very important time during the purchasing process. It's the most important time. Due diligence fee is not refundable, but then in the end it does go towards the purchase of the house. With all that said, during due diligence, it is very important for you to get all of your inspections. We definitely recommend all of the inspections, if not, at least definitely getting the general inspection, and go from there because you want to know what you're getting into. The due diligence period is probably the most critical time during the process of being under contract. It's when you make your big decisions of what you want fixed, what you don't want fixed, what they're deciding, what the sellers are deciding, whether they're fixed for you or what they won't. And that's when, if you decide you don't want to go ahead, continue with the purchase, is when you would probably pull out, is during the due diligence period. It's very, very important. If you're planning on buying a house soon, just make sure that you do have the money set aside other than for your down payment or whatever that may be, that you also have money to spend on these inspections and the appraisal. It's something to always keep in mind before purchasing a home. Thank you so much, and if you enjoy watching the Rodriguez sisters, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. See you next Thursday.